Bitcoin and Ethereum are clearly showing us what is about to happen next. The market is always moving to the place where the majority of the liquidity is sitting at, and all of the downside liquidity has just been getting grabbed, and there's only liquidity left sitting at the top side. We are going to need to be talking about that exactly in today's update video, about the Jackson Hole Fed Chair Powell speech that we're going to be getting this Friday, and many more things that we need to discuss for Bitcoin and, more importantly, Ethereum. So as always, let's get started with a shorter time frame. And in that shorter time frame, Bitcoin has obviously been breaking to the downside from this rising wedge formation. Because of this, a lot of people have been getting fearful and a lot of people have been calling for a potential bull market top. Just like we have been seeing during the last cycle, we have seen a very similar pattern. So because of that, a lot of people are talking about a cycle top. Now yes, while I do think that in that shorter time frame we could be headed a little bit lower, I definitely do not think the top is in just yet. Yes, Bitcoin is sitting at a massive level of support at this moment from this sideways channel, which we are currently still trading in. Obviously, we have been seeing a liquidity sweep at the top side. Ever since that moment, I have been saying this is looking rather a little bit more bearish. But I've been having a look into the Bitcoin EMA ribbons where we've been holding above, but yesterday or 2 days ago already, we've been breaking down below of it and we've been perfectly retested. This breakdown of the Bitcoin EMA ribbons yesterday, we are getting a rejection from this previous support turning into resistance, and this isn't looking very good. Now, because of that, we can be having a look into potential more downside price action for Bitcoin and a potential liquidity sweep below these previous lows over here, and potentially around 111k till about 108k level to be getting reached, which is previous massive resistance turning into support while we are getting a liquidity sweep, and that would be the ultimate level of support we can be reaching. Now on top of that, yeah, there is also still some downside liquidity sitting below us, so more on that exactly a little bit later. But yeah, majority of the market is right now trading short. The funding rates are trading low, especially on Bitcoin, especially on many of the altcoins, on for example Ethereum, trading below the neutral point. So majority of the market is trading short. The funding rates are very low. This rally which we are seeing now is very much different than all of the other rallies we have been having. This rally isn't being driven by high leverage trades. No, it is being driven by spot buying and not euphoric at all, no euphoria at all. So that is indicating to me that I still want to have a look into long possibilities, because I've never seen a cycle topping out without peak euphoria. That is exactly the reason why I do not think we have topped out yet, and why I do think we will still be following that global liquidity trend to the upside, because Bitcoin has also always been following that global liquidity, that general direction from the global liquidity, and because of that, I do think we are still trading inside of an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows. This is just going to be another higher low, and inevitably we're going to be seeing even more higher highs being created. We're seeing a bit of a divergence being created right now where Bitcoin is lagging behind the global liquidity indicator. We could be seeing the same exact thing right over here, for example. And after that, well, Bitcoin has just catched up with a massive explosive move above the global liquidity indicator. So we could be expecting the same exact thing with a move above that global liquidity indicator. Let's see if that indeed is going to be the case, because in that longer time frame, I am going to be expecting a top from of these levels. I'm going to be expecting a cycle top fairly soon. If we're going to be just headed a little bit higher, yes, I'm going to be expecting tops very soon. More on that exactly a little bit later. But very important, Friday, we're going to be getting the Fed Chair Powell speech. Now, this one is not just going to be in your normal FOMC meeting. No, it's going to be the one at the Jackson Hole event. So this will be incredibly important to watch, because this will cause a lot of volatility. It will tell us what will likely happen next during the FOMC meeting of this September. Are we going to see rate cuts or not? Well, Jerome Powell is probably going to be giving out a lot of hints. So that is why this Fed Chair Powell speech is going to be extremely important. Now, like you can obviously see, the market isn't expecting anything all too great. The market has been selling off. So the market is indeed expecting that the speech is going to be rather a little bit more bearish. Now, I think the market is overreacting on this. So because of this overreaction, we could be seeing a little bit more downwards price action in a shorter time frame. But ultimately, I do think we're going to be headed even further to the upside, just to be grabbing that downside liquidity and then to be going even further because of the overreaction of this event right over here. Now, obviously, nobody knows exactly what Jerome Powell will say, so it's just a guessing game for everybody. However, I do think the market is overreacting, so that is why ultimately I do think we will see more bullishness. Anyways, today also we will be getting the initial jobless claims, so this one will also be pretty important. All of the liquidity for Bitcoin and all of the liquidity for Ethereum is basically just getting piled up on the top side. This is looking very good. Now, we do still have some liquidity sitting down below us. So we could just be grabbing that again with that liquidity grab to the downside and then just pull to the upside. Because majority of the liquidity is sitting indeed at the top side ultimately. Having a look into Ethereum, it's looking very good. Getting that rejection, obviously. Getting supported by this level of support right over here. We've been filling our orders down below at 4.1k level. Like you can see in this YouTube video over here, I have been saying my order is sitting at 4.1k level. That is where I'm going to be adding even more into my trade. I have been adding even more. Ethereum is getting a slight level of resistance right over here. But yeah, we have been buying up the dip. And I have been explaining every single little detail in my private Telegram group, which is free to join with the first link down below. Anyways, talking about Ethereum, yeah, we are just having that massive retest of previous resistance turning into support. Like you can see over here, we have been having a V-shaped recovery to the upside, and right now we are just getting a pullback and retest of this neckline. So longer term, this is looking great. Shorter term, we're creating an Ethereum bull flag pattern at this moment. Like I've been explaining, we are having this level of resistance. If we can break above this level of resistance, guys, I think Ethereum will absolutely explode. Now, it seems to be logical that we're going to be getting a bit more of a rejection, maybe some consolidation for Ethereum before then breaking to the upside. Obviously, if Bitcoin indeed is going to be seeing this break to the downside. But of course, that is not going to be required. Bitcoin can already be bouncing off to the upside right now. And in that case, we can be expecting a big breakout, especially for Ethereum, from this level of resistance, because the charts have been looking great and have been setting up for something massive. If you're going to be zooming out, we're just getting a big 4-year pattern breakout right over here. On top of that, the fractal from every single cycle is just getting repeated. So today is going to be your last chance. Literally, I've just gotten a message from WeX, but today will be your last chance to claim a 1k Ethereum free trade. With that second link down below, you can claim a free 1k Ethereum trade, which is only going to be available until tomorrow. So make sure to still take advantage of this free trade right now. Ethereum is setting up for something great. It is looking very good, as well as we have been briefly grabbing the liquidity below this level of support, but we have been getting back up. ETH-BTC is bouncing back up in a shorter time frame. We're also having a level of resistance being created right over here where we've already broken above of. So ETH-BTC is definitely also still looking very bullish in that longer time frame. I just think we have been putting in our major pivot and we're just going to be creating new higher highs, higher lows, and this is just another higher low. Ultimately still very bullish, and in that longer time frame, we are creating an 8-year convergence, and right now we are testing that level of resistance. Nobody is watching this, but if we will break it out to the upside, I think the next move to the upside will be very explosive. And yeah, it is to be expected to see a bit more of resistance and a bit more of a rejection from this level, because this level over here is huge. Nobody is watching it, but if we are going to be breaking above it, I think we will be seeing a massive breakout. Keep that one in mind. I'm rather having a look into Ethereum right now. Large investors are buying Ethereum while retail is selling off Ethereum. So yeah, as well as the total holdings ratio for the ETFs, well, all of the money is flowing back into Ethereum. So that's looking good. Anyways, yes, of course, Tomorrow, the campaign for the 1K free Ethereum trade is going to be ending, but on top of the 1K free Ethereum trade, you can claim these free positions. If you deposit 10K, you're going to be getting an additional 10K free Ethereum trade. So make sure to check that one out. Now, I do want to be saying this campaign with the free 1K Ethereum trade is going to be ending by tomorrow, but this campaign will be lasting until the end of this month. So you can still deposit and get some great free trades for free. Anyways, we've been predicting this market absolutely perfectly and beautifully for Bitcoin. We've been doing so for Ethereum as well. I think Ethereum is going to be the asset to watch at this moment. This event is going to be very important Friday, so make sure to keep that one in mind. Anyways, if you want to be staying up to date about everything I'm doing in absolute real time, make sure to join the Platinum group with that first link down below, because over here I'm sharing absolutely everything, new crypto alpha, new trading updates, absolutely everything I'm doing in real time. So make sure to join and stay level headed. Anyways, in that longer time frame, yes, I do think we are reaching that beginning of the end phase, and we are about to be peaking out fairly soon, and we're going to be entering another bear market again. However, not yet right now at this exact current moment. Yes, we should be getting a little bit more cautious with Bitcoin. We are right now in our danger territory, where we are about to top out soon for Bitcoin. However, not yet in my opinion, because I still do think that altcoins will explode during this last part of the cycle. Euphoria will come and Bitcoin can be going a little bit higher while altcoins can be exploding. Now, this is very interesting because for the total three chart, well, we are forming this cup and handle pattern, right? But we are getting a slight sneeze for Bitcoin, but usually while Bitcoin is even just sneezing, well, all of the altcoins are just seeing a major crash to the downside. But right now, that's not the case. We're still sitting at this level of resistance. It is looking like we're about to break above it because altcoins are relatively holding up quite well. They're holding up quite strong. So I think this is a massive and major indication that we are about to break out soon. And if we will break out above this level of resistance, my target is going to be the $3 trillion for the total three. So total 3 to $3 trillion, that is my target. For the Bitcoin dominance, yeah, it is going down even further, looking very good. I mean, in that shorter time frame, everybody has been getting bearish again on altcoins. I've been saying, no, I'm very bullish on altcoins every single little time. And yeah, the Bitcoin dominance just continues to go lower and lower. We are breaking that monthly level of support. Guys, this is a massive pivot right over here. And I think we're headed to the lower side of this range for the Bitcoin dominance. And this altcoin season will be absolutely phenomenal. We are getting the dead cross on the Bitcoin dominance indicator. So guys, everything is pointing towards an altcoin season and altcoins exploding during this last part of the cycle. I think Ethereum will be going to 6, 7, or 8K. Altcoins will be absolutely exploding to $3 trillion, and Bitcoin can be only going a little bit higher in this last part of the cycle. Anyways, guys, with that being said, make sure to be subscribed to my channel. Start trading over on the WeX right now with this insane bonuses you have available. Join the Platinum group, and guys, I'll see you in another update video tomorrow morning.